everyone, and welcome to episode 124. It is the State of Destiny 2 2023. And no, we are not at GCX. We actually work for a living.
Yeah, they couldn't afford us. Oh.
Yeah, what they said. Man, I'm sad I missed out on Comic-Con this year. I'm gonna see if I can get tickets for next year.
There you go.
Maybe I can find myself an anime waifu or husbando.
Yeah. I did watch quite a bit of coverage on the YouTube of Comic-Con.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything good come out? Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, I think didn't Marvel abstain this year? So there wasn't any Marvel coverage. I thought I heard that. I don't know if that's true though.
What kind of killed everything was the strikes, like the writer strike and the actors with it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
like in solidarity.
It's something that they're doing, and but it's just unfortunate timing for people that want to go to an event that's all about.
I meant like killed the hype for the event.
No, I know. I'm just clarifying that's not what you meant. Because I saw it.
Yeah.
Because that event is pretty much.
I'm from the South, dude.
It's
we're
about
pretty
shows
well. We're pretty well pro-union here in the South, so you don't have to worry about no scabbing in this joint.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on unions?
Oh
yeah.
Good. Yeah. Most of the time they're good.
Yeah. I'll be straight. I'm a healthcare worker. I don't think healthcare unions are the best of things, but
when it comes to something that's for profit as high as that, it can be rough when they start hobnobbing with the companies themselves.
Right. Oh, for sure. Like it's definitely crooked as poop.
Yeah.
But my thing is like, if I'm on a nursing shift and I know the shift behind me is not coming on and somebody's really sick and needs their medicine, I don't think I could just walk out and leave them. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Luckily I do home health, so I don't have to think about it. But
yeah, you just drive away and leave them instead.
Yeah. Just honk the horn. Beep, beep.
Bye. You drive up, you see them in their window, just like fall over. You're like, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Oh, your fingers hurt? Well, now your back's going to hurt.
Man. Gameplay this week. We got a last wish in with some people last night. That was fun. That was a good time.
A full 5-man.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We did 5-man.
100% 5-man.
Yeah, and it
really. I think if we didn't have an accident, we would have had that Queens Walk too, first try.
Yeah, that was my fault. It was Shifty's. I mean, it was actually Shifty's fault if we're being honest. But I just tried to be the bigger man.
An accident. I was trying
to be the bigger man.
Could have been my bad.
No, it wasn't. I was trying to be the bigger man and just take the blame. But really, it was definitely Shifty's fault. So
I'm pretty sure you're the biggest man.
I stand by that. Don't forget. So.
I can't. I saw the Photoshop version of you. Look like Attack on Titan. Lost of Titan was just.
Oh man.
Called perspective, Chad.
Yeah, from my perspective, you look a little bigger than you do in real life, I guess.
From my perspective,
way down there
touching my donger in that Photoshop.
Dogger, yeah, if I hugged you, that would happen. Looking right in your belly button.
Stick your tongue in there if you want.
Okay. Maybe later. Ooh.
Yeah. Double Lightfall rewards this week. So, and double Vanguard rep. Should trying to get any of that done. It's a decent week for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to get lots of strikes in to get done with that. I think I only need 4,000. Yeah, 4,000 to get that one done.
Does anybody have any?
I'm about 4 away from all of them. Not bad.
Anybody have any recommendations for like monitor mounts? Am I better off to get desk mounts? Am I better off?
I was actually
to
looking
get
at one.
Wall mounts.
If you have a good spot to wall mount it, I would suggest that because the arms on those usually have more articulation than a desk mount, depending on the desk mount. So, I mean, if you can wall mount, I'm all about it.
Because if I did, I'd have so much more space for activities on my desk.
Okay.
I know.
I guess the third monitor could go above me if I wanted it to, instead of like this elevated, like the desk came with like an elevated platform.
Yeah, like a riser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like that's where the third monitor is. So.
Still trying to find the right time to take my wife's other monitor. Haven't quite. I don't know if I'm just gonna wait till she's gone one day and bring it in here.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't used it, and I think we're coming up on 100 days at this point. Pretty close to it.
Oh,
sheesh.
She just hooks the laptop right into the television in there.
Okay.
And just does it that way.
Well, if you do take it, make sure it's not anything permanent, because once you take it, she's gonna like, oh, I needed to use it for something else, instantly remember.
The minute you take it.
Yeah.
True. I think if I do that, because they're both 32-inch curved monitors. Stack those. Stack them like this. Turn this monitor this way. And then have the fourth monitor up to the right. It's a good thing I'm married, because I couldn't imagine having a setup like that and inviting a girl over and having to show that to him the first time.
Could you imagine?
Probably.
Chad's Bedford.
What happened? I wasn't paying attention.
I love those memes where it says it's like written from like a girl's perspective, and it's like if you're seeing a guy and you walk into his room and he has two computer monitors and a light up keyboard, you know it's time to go. Yeah.
Yep.
Chad, I said I'm glad that I'm already married, because I couldn't imagine inviting a girl over and her seeing 4 computer monitors and a light up keyboard and stuff.
It's more than 2, so it just Niagara Falls, baby. I mean, I haven't tested that, but that's what I'm assuming is going to happen.
Can you even get a sample population for that test?
Sample size is too small, sir.
Are we about ready to?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Dogs out here.
Yeah.
Go. We got a long episode.
Remember, we have
today.
a pause function that works.
Yes. Do you have to go poop, Chad?
No, I know. That's why I'm worried.
Yeah, Chad's like, not yet, but maybe.
You know what?
So, yeah, by the way, was it last week that the recording messed up, the audio?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you guys hear what I had to do? You guys probably didn't listen, did you?
I haven't listened to it, no.
Yeah. I had to give a disclaimer at the front.
Oh, okay. Yep. So you just let me know, Fox, when you're about.
I'm just tweeting the link and then we'll be good.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take a seat for like a minute, 2 minutes, maybe, just in case.
Okay.
All right.
So National Chicken Wing Day was last Saturday. I celebrated.
What'd you get?
We just grilled some wings,
Okay.
and then
How'd you sauce them up?
one of them was like a buffalo dry rub, and then when they got done, we put them like in buffalo sauce, tossed them in there, and with some garlic in there too, so it was a spicy garlic. And then the other one
Delicious.
was like a just traditional savory wing that you put any barbecue sauce on there you wanted. So we recently got some Sticky Fingers Carolina Gold barbecue sauce that we went with. Had a little bit of ranch, had a little bit of blue cheese, spread it around, had some waffle fries to go with it. We haven't did a Mount Rushmore in a while. We should probably do one of those for like maybe like potatoes or something.
Potatoes?
Yeah.
What if we just do it just straight up dude meat?
Do the what?
Just meats.
Oh, just meats? Okay. That sounds good.
And let's not tell Chad about it and make it a question at the end of the
Okay.
the show.
All right.
Sorry, really important phone call.
All right, everybody have squiggles?
Yeah.
Squiggle. Yeah.
Push the button. Eyes up, Guardians. We are live for episode 124 of the Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is August the 3rd. I am the Destiny bad boy, not Ryan Fox, and I am here with my fire team, who all of you CCBs know by now. Jared?
Yeah, we got the State of Destiny 2 2023. Joe Blackburn put out the big article touching basically everything in the game, but maybe not giving us too much meat on the bone ahead of the showcase.
And the chronicler himself, chadocero.
I wrangled up what I believe is the final piece of lore in the season. So the next two podcasts are going to be speculation for the season after that. I'm assuming we're not going to get anything until the day of because of all the stuff that's coming out on the 22nd. But we'll see what happens.
And as a reminder, if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you, by the way, you can take us on the road via Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast services. Make sure you subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us Spongy friend requests so we can play together. Honestly, we had to 5-man raid last night because we couldn't get a 6th person. It could have been you. That could have been you. So we'd love to become friends and add you into our activitas that we play here. As we've already kind of hinted at, this was the State of the Game day that released. They also gave us a TWID this afternoon, which they really went all out on that one. But before we get into all that, let's listen to the intro music from everybody's favorite Link, who you can find on Twitter at LinkOfTimeG.
All right, so
Minute 50, Chado.
Well, we are updating, switching over the podcast to another thing.
All right. Do it right this time, hopefully, so I don't have to deal with the mess I dealt with last week.
Is there a way to check before everything starts?
I think he's got it this time.
I think we're good. That might be the biggest fly in the history of flies that's flying around this room right now. I swear to God, that thing's the size of a 50-cent piece. All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Everybody has squiggles?
Squiggle.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Link. Awesome job. Jared, you want to get us into the state of the game?
Yeah, so I sat down at lunch today. I was like, man, I really hope that state of the game's already dropped. So it dropped by noon Eastern for me, so 10 hours ago from now. So that would have been, just about there. So it was nice to sit down and read that during lunch. I don't know if anybody else did that, but it took a while to get through it. A lot of words. It was over 6,000 words wrote, and they kicked it off with the classic, we're listening. So Bungie has a checklist of what they're going through with player feedback, and that kind of what this article is talking about feedback, talking about what they do at Bungie and how they address it. You know, it's the state of the game. It's almost like the state of the company, leaving out what they're doing with Marathon and Matter in the mobile game. So addressing feedback, they're always going to listen. They're always going to take notes. Doesn't mean it's going to like show up in the game the next season or the next 6 months. Maybe it's a year down the road, just depending on how development time works. What's our priority? You know, when it comes to making a gambit map or making an exotic mission, they're going to prioritize the exotic mission over the gambit map. This is just how it's going to work. New exotic mission. It's going to bring more people to the game, be more excited. New gambit map, you know, it's just for those few dredgens out there in the world that are still grinding away at gambit. So first up here is ritual updates. So we kind of touched on this, but in Season 22, there's going to be new weapons to go chase at the vendors. And instead of like waiting until next season to start focusing for them, you can start that season. So like PvP is going to have a new Stasis SMG. As soon as you start getting Crucible engrams, you can start focusing for it. Game is getting a Void machine gun, which actually is really good for a lot of players out there. Void machine guns, if you went around for that one season of Retrofit Escapade, or like you haven't got in Vault Glass or haven't got in Deep Sun Crypt, like you need a Void machine gun. So there's going to be avenues there to go chase one. The biggest change there, as of right now, you can run like 3 or 5 strikes and you get an exotic to drop, as long as you match the surge that's going on in the strike. So you can do that in strikes, you do that in PvP, and you do it in Gambit. So that's 3 exotics per character every week. In Season 22, you can just pick one of the playlists and go through it if you want to. So this sounds like it's just going to be like an overall bounty that would just you'll progress through. So if you want to play 9 matches of Scorch to get your 3 exotics to drop, and Scorch is going on that week, I mean that's like one of the fastest ways to get it done. So you can just play PvP, or if you're just a PvE guy or a gal and you're just like wanting to play strikes because you don't like facing other players, which I understand. I go through those days, and you can just play strikes and you get your 3 exotics to drop. So that's great moving forward in the game. However, I feel like this is going to really hurt some of the playlists. I know some people only play PvP just those 3 games to get that exotic to drop.
Yeah, that's me. That's the Iron Banner week. If it's Iron Banner week, I'll hang around for a while. Sometimes in trials, like if I'm in that mood, there's a good weapon out and it's like a double weekend or something, I might hang out for a minute.
Basically, loot drives everything in this game. If something's worth
Weird
chasing,
how that works.
yeah, we go after it. So next up, PvP maps. Bungie has heard the feedback all the time about we want more maps in PvP that really changes up the play style and the game. and they straight up said this: the people that make PvP maps are also the people that make exotic mission landscape, basically like how the mission flows. And they said they rather put out new exotic missions than new PvP maps, and that's what gets driven. That's what pulls in, money in their opinion. That's how they're getting the ROI. But also maps is also kind of what keeps people just hanging on and playing more and playing deeper into the season. So I understand the give and take. I understand the frustration from the PvP community. But I will go a new exotic mission over a PvP map any day of the week.
The way the game is set up right now, yes. But if they were to add like capture the flag, if they were to add a game type that had like a map or two that were kind of designed with that game type in mind, I'd be much more likely to play it. I just don't understand why there are no objective based like game modes. There's kind of King of the Hill, or territories, I guess.
Yeah.
But why not have a rotating hill? I don't know, man. I just. But we're too late into the game to start doing this now. This is stuff that should have been done 3 years ago. So I don't expect it at this point.
So the new map we'll get in next season is called Multiplex. There's a view of it inside the article. So there looks vexy. It's back from Season of the Splicer. Is that when you go in there, Chad?
Yeah, but you also go in there last season with the mission puts you back in there. But yeah, Season of the Splicer is when you really get put into that. What are they called? The Vex.
The Vex Gate?
It's not the Vex mission. Yeah, but it has a specific name. But yeah, it was Season of the Splicer. And we only really get the Vex Network. We only really get to get back into it because of Neomuna has a couple places that go in there. And then the Vex Glaive mission has you in there.
Yeah.
But I mean it's cool. And they definitely explain that the lighting and everything in the Vex Network could be very difficult for a PvP. So they actually changed up and added the Mars lighting and lighting to it, so it's easier to differentiate certain things in there, which is definitely interesting. I mean, since it's the Vex Network, they can be simulating literally anything, so putting in some Mars rocks and stuff makes sense. But it looks like a map with lots of things to fall off of.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? That's where that grappling grenade's going to come into play. So it looks cool. Hopefully these new game modes that we're also getting next season might play well on it. And the first one is called Checkmate. Basically, increased time to kill, weapons do less damage, and ability uptime is lower. So if you want to strip Destiny down, this is probably the most stripped down Destiny that you're going to get. It's going to be available from week 5 to week 10. So kind of get that frame of mind. I'm guessing like this is going to be a lot of map control. This is going to be like, getting those flanks off, like getting the sight lines down. A lot of scout rifle laning, I feel like, in this game mode. We're just going to see how it plays out week 5. I'm going to probably give it a try, hopefully week 5, unless I'm just busy playing Starfield. But, yeah, I'm excited for this. How do you all feel about a stripped down version of Destiny 2? Okay. So you're not very excited.
mine's a.
No.
I mean, you go, Ryan.
I was afraid as soon as I started speaking, Chad would start speaking. That's typically how it goes. No, I don't know. I think it'll be fun. I have been dabbling in the old Halo Infinite here recently, and it is a lot less. You don't really have like powers, right? And I tell you, man, it's fun. It's real fun. I hated that game when it came out. I played it for like 3 nights, and I was like, this game's trash. but they have done some work, and that game is in a good place right now. Everything feels, it's just fun to play. So I played that, and I was like, Destiny should be the better version of this. So hopefully that new mode will mix it up a little, and that'll be something for us to get in there and play for like 3 different times before we don't ever play it again. So
Yeah. I do foresee some subclass exotic is going to be like super good in neutral game, transfer steps, stompies, stuff like that.
Twilight Garrison.
Oh, wait. Yeah, so some of those things are going to be even more dominant in that game. So we're going to see how it goes. Now, that's like a serious game mode. What Bungie's also bringing to the table next season is like a fun game mode and like an alternate to Team Scorch, and this is going to be Relic. So you're going to be able to use a little bit of guns, but after using them a little bit, you're going to use relics, and that's going to be the relic from. It's going to be the Aegis, the shield from Vault of Glass. It's going to be the Scythe spear from Season of the Risen, like the Cyrus Battleground, what you got to use to take out Sabathun. And then you have the Scythe from Season of the Haunted, that is. I think it fires like some kind of like projectile, right? If I remember using it, and they can also get up and swing.
It has the one you can launch a projectile, and then it has like the slam.
Yeah. I almost wish like the third encounter on Valk, that you could use some of those, like the Taken
Vow
one.
the Disciple.
Yeah.
Like the almond.
The almond, yep. The Taken spear.
Just blasted people with the almond.
Like, so if you folks out there that play BattleBit, you can have something called Suicide C4, where you can like really run into a room and just blow yourself up and like take out the room of people. Where like the Taken bomb, whenever you like detonate the grenade, it could also take you out, but it takes like everybody out in your radius too.
Yeah. As soon as you said the BattleBit thing, I'm like, I know where he's going.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I was like with the Taken bomb, the grenade. Yeah.
I think they could really expand it into this relic game where like I think you could get 6 relics and then like you just get a like you almost play like the relic game. Like after you get killed with a relic, you got to move on to the next relic.
Oh, that's the way they do Fiesta.
Yeah.
Fiesta mode with the relics.
Mm-hmm. So I think that'd be fun.
I'd be down.
Because there's also like the hive shields too, or the hive swords.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff you could do. Okay. And then the Minotaur laser head things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So that's going to be in weeks 1 through 4, and then come back in week 11 of this season. So get in early next season and give that a try. So PvP is also tough at these lower times of population, getting games and stuff, but Bungie has said that they're improving the parameters of matchmaking, and skill-based matchmaking is not going away. It's still going to be there, and then we'll continue to have fire-based team matchmaking, which I am a fan of fire team-based matchmaking, but I kind of just wish I had like the best connection possible. But we know where that stands.
Yeah, if only we had dedicated servers. Then they could really focus on like balancing teams.
Yep. Maybe one day, Marathon. So Vanguard strikes, they kind of been the same. They changed it up a little bit a couple seasons ago with the scoring now. But they're also bringing back Vanguard medals. So like just like in Guardian games, you get medals whenever you're getting like streaks and kills and doing it quickly. However, not all the medals are coming over. Thank God. Like doing an emote before you finish a champion or a yellow bar, you don't have to do that. You can just like go complete it, do it fast and move fast and take them out. So that's good. Medals are coming back. I think I was a big hit in Destiny 1 for strikes. So makes sense. All right, takes us to Gambit. So, to me, Gambit, like the fact that it already exists is the only reason they talk about it. Is because Gambit's there. They are bringing back a map, the Cathedral of Scars map, is returning. That is the one from like the Dreaming City with the portals. You can fall at different points. Stuff. I do remember that map, and I usually okay with it, but I feel like whenever the invader spawns up top, and you're like on one of the sides, like you're almost always getting an army to 4. If not, like they're taking out 2 or 3 of you.
Yeah, I think they just need to take some of that cover away. But the issue is at that, you're talking about like that top middle island or whatever. There's too much cover up there, but if they take that cover away, when they spawn all those ads up there, it makes it too hard to like survive those. So it's kind of something. It don't have great sight lines if you're at the bottom.
I also remember like back in the day, whenever we was playing a lot of Gambit, we was like all on controller on Xbox, and the aim assist on the other ads wouldn't let you pull over to try to hit the invader. Like like the gameplay was literally like just like be inside of the ads because the aim assist would just take the aim off of you. So
yep. And Queen Breaker was just filthy.
It was
back then.
It was. Also, season 22, there's going to be less seasonal challenges of Gambit. So, Chad, like, you know, always wait till week 10. And I know you're not one of the ones. You kind of take them out as they come.
Well, it's not even that I do that. I do because I'm playing Gambit, but I play Gambits on the double infamy weeks just so I can get them done in chunks. So I'm not waiting till the last 2 double infamy weeks and grinding out 2 resets of Gambit. I'm just like, okay, here's 4,000 rep here. You know, here's 4,000 rep over here. Here's 4,000 rep over here. And while, you know, it just gets a lot of it out of the way. And you get challenges out of the way. But I've done the grind where I leave Gambit and I only have like 1,000 rep. And I'm like, okay, it's the second to last infamy week. Might as well just get it done right now. And it's like 3 solid days of grinding Gambit because wins give you a bunch of points, but losses don't.
Yeah.
And I just get on a loss streak and I'm like, okay, that's just what it is. I'm just going to sit here and play. But yeah, I've switched to taking them in chunks, which makes me mad about the seasonal challenges because if I get my rep done too quickly, then I hit season or week 9 and then there's a Gambit challenge and I'm like, well, dang it.
Mm-hmm. You know what really bothers me the most is, do you know the multiplicative thing they add to where, like, if you stay in one playlist, it keeps your streak going? The fact that I have like a 5 strike streak right now stops me from doing anything else because I know that at some point I'm going to grind out like 12 to 15 strikes like on a Saturday morning or something to finish up to get like the weapon or the paint job, the ornament out of that. And so like I don't want to break that streak to go play like 2 games of Crucible. So that's why so like that is like a cool thing that they added, but it prohibits me from like really wanting to get in there and play different. Like it would be nice to be able to bounce between different things and not be penalized. So maybe instead of having like a 5 streak per playlist, do like a 7 or 8 streak overall, and it just resets every week at reset, and then you can just build that back up.
Oh, okay. That's what you're saying. But also part of me is just like, just bump up the rep a little bit and just take away the streaks. That way it just like...
Yeah, that'd be fine too.
Yeah.
That would definitely be fine too. Like I definitely wouldn't complain about that. But, you know, I remember Chad was a buzzard when like that weapon came out and it was like a strike specific, like a Vanguard playlist. Like you got it the first night. You sat there and grinded out like 23 strikes or something to get that. We did have a message from, I know. We did have a message from Link in the chat here. What's sad is I enjoy Gambit, but I am seriously hoping there's a big reason that the state of the game was disappointing today. It should be like comp or Iron Banner rewards.
Oh, okay.
I'd be all right with that. Like if it had, because you know now in Iron Banner you can get, it's usually what, like 8 or 9 different weapons you can kind of use your rank ups to get. Yeah, I would like that. I used to be the biggest Gambit person, like a top 2% Gambit, 1% player probably, like in my elo was stupid high in Gambit. Like that was what I enjoyed the most. I remember going on like 20 and 25 win streaks in Gambit over the course of 2 or 3 nights and playing. So like I love Gambit, but I loved Gambit, I should say. Now it is not fun. At one time though, it was my favorite game mode in the game.
When was the last time Gambit was fun? Was it Gambit
Oh,
Prime?
man. I think
Yeah, I enjoy Gambit
the,
Prime.
Yeah. The last season that had Gambit Prime and we were just 4-stacking in there was just so much fun.
Yeah,
Like,
I know,
people were trying to get their Reckoner title, and I would just go in and help people.
It was me and Zen, and we'd be like, Ryan, get in here. Get in here. We need help.
So I would just run the off.
Like, all right, what are you guys doing?
Because I already had it. I already had the title, so I was just running whatever the other two weren't doing just to try to help.
Yeah, flex play, baby. It was good. That was the most fun I had. Because the fourth player rotated. Sometimes it was Shifty. Occasionally, I think it was Jared a couple of times for a little while, just to hang out. But we get people rotating in and out, and it was a ton of fun. Zen and I did get it done. We did get that Reckoner, but holy moly! You know how many times I've seen massacre medals now? Horrible.
they're so frequent now. Yeah, but I tried to tell like all you guys really need to do is just run like the Arc Warlock with the Crown of Tempest, and you could just take a whole wave out. So those were the good old days.
Now, if they brought queues back, where they started queuing in Gambit, where like you could queue as Invader, you could queue as a Collector. So in my head, like you have one Invader, you have 2 Collectors, and then you have, was it Sentry, the one that took out the blockers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sentry.
So you combine Sentry with the other one with the green, and like that's a separate queue in itself, where like you can mark the Invader, and then you also do the stuff with the taking out the blockers easier and stuff like that. I think that Gambit would be fun.
I thought that was
I'd
the
be playing Sentry every time because
I thought that was just Sentry.
So fast.
There was like Reaper, Sentry, Collector,
Sentry,
and Invader.
And then, yeah.
But I think there should be 3, like an Invader, the Sentry, whatever, and then 2 Collectors.
Yeah, because Sentry isn't really. That was the one that you could tell they're like, we kind of need another thing.
The job for it was kill blockers, kill invaders.
Mm-hmm.
That was the job.
and if they shot an Invader, it marked it for the other team. I want to say,
yeah.
Like they should have done more. They should have done more to where, if the Sentry hit the Invader with a primary weapon, it debuffed them to take like 25, or they did less damage and took more damage. It did like a buff on
that.
Yeah, but only if they hit him with a primary. That way, like if they just blasted him with a snipe, like body shot him with a sniper or something, you wouldn't want that.
Be running scouts the whole time.
yeah. Right now it'd be pulse rifles because there were no maps big enough that you needed to scout. But yeah, I think that's the easiest fix. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. At this point, I don't know if the matchmaking issue they're dealing with is they have too many splits between like PC players having to be in their own pool because controller players think that there's some inherent advantage, which is absolutely not the case in my experience. But I think that I think if they just got rid of input, and even I don't think they need to separate like 30 frames per second players from 60 or higher frames per second players. Just put everybody in the same pool, and I think that's gonna help the population and help. But I think right now everything's split too much, and the player count's too low to where I think it's just what's killing everything right now. But if they did do the Gambit, like if I could queue in and people queued in to the roles so you knew they were more likely to do those roles, like I would be fine waiting 2 minutes for a match. Like what's 2 minutes, man? Just look over at your fifth monitor and pull a YouTube video up or something. Like it's all good.
All right, next up is armor sets, and a while ago, Bungie put out a goal to like introduce a new armor set to the vendors each year, and that hasn't happened. So Bungie just basically rescinded that, and that is not their goal anymore. And I don't blame them for this because they put out lots of other armor sets all the time, and I don't see anybody like really making sure they're unlocking all of them and making them into ornaments. Especially like you get one in the season pass, and then there's like a seasonal activity armor set, and then there's usually a dungeon or raid set, and then like I feel like every other season you're getting a new trial set or a new destination set.
Yeah. And per link, all the Eververse sets.
Oh yeah, Eververse gets like 2 each season, right?
And dude, they're so sweet. Like not getting the God of War set for my Titan just out of principle, that was really hard for me to do. But I'm not paying $20 for an armor set when the whole damn expansion was $100 for the year of content is $100.
Yeah.
And you're trying to sell me one armor set, one paint job for 20. Like get out of here with that, man. I just cannot do that.
It's wild how different each of the Eververse sets is. Like when they're thematic, they're similar, but like often it's 3 completely different sets of armor per class. And then like the seasonal armor is all thematically the same, and just each class has a different version versus like the Eververse stuff where it's like completely different, 3 completely different sets.
Oh yes.
And it's like, bro, that takes so much more work than making 3 on the same, like the same aesthetics. It's wild.
And then you get whatever the like season activity free activity is. So it's like Solstice is right now, but then you have Guardian Games armor set that also comes out that you can pay the, was it 6,000 Bright Dust or $15 for or something like that.
Festival of the Lost.
Yeah, that's just not a fair exchange rate. That's like the pesos are getting screwed in that exchange. You know what I mean? So, but even think like the Ass Creed armor that came out. What? Even that's where it started. They had that Ubisoft thing and did that. I don't know.
Wasn't the first
like
one the Fortnite?
Yeah, the Fortnite one was first.
Yeah, I bought the Fortnite one for the hunters. I bought that one.
Was it? Because it had the cat. It had the cat with the purple.
It had the cat helmet.
Are you sure Are you sure that was before the Ass Creed ones?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Because I remember comparing them because the Assassin's Creed ones were 2,000 silver versus 15.
Okay.
And then
I'll take your word for
that
it.
became the new threshold.
I will say that the Assassin's Creed ones I bought like in the last probably 100 hours of the season because I was like, I'm not going to buy it. And then I was like, if I don't buy it, I'm not going to be able to get it.
Yep.
But I didn't buy. I did not pay the $20 for the armor this season. This is the first one I've just completely skimped on because I can't do it.
That was the coin that broke the Silver Fox's back. So
yeah.
Leak thinks that after Final Shape there'll be more D1 armor sets coming back.
The only D1 armor set that I can, like, I remember shaders in D1 more so than armor sets.
Woohoo.
But Chatterwhite, Glowhoo, yeah. But I do remember the Crota, Crota's End, like hunter set being real nice.
OG or remix?
The original one.
Okay.
Like because
you
I
talking
remember
about with the fly cape, fly wing cape?
Yeah, and I think it had like a bone, like the belt looked cool. I remember that. Like like the chest piece that, or it was either whichever, if it was the chest piece that had the belt or the pants that had the belt. I'm not sure which
Either
one,
way.
but yeah, I remember that looking pretty good. But obviously, King's Fall, I ran that thing all the time, so like that armor kind of sticks out in my head and that aesthetic. But really, like I kind of remember, because the King's Fall stuff, which a lot of it was brought back and has already been brought back, but you kind of got like the whitish, like the calcified bone with like the ligament looking kind of look to it. So I did kind of like it too, though. But like Wrath, I can't even think of what the Wrath armor sets looked like.
What? That's
Rise of Iron, and like the Iron Banner armor sets were rad though. In D1, I will say that. But most of those have already been brought over, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to game security. So, Bungie's improving their security, and they are going after the people that's making the cheats. This is stuff that's been in the news for a while. Like, they're cracking down and going after it to where you can't even turn the cheats on. Now, I found it interesting at the end of this portion here, they had an extra reminder. And they received countless messages of banned accounts that state that they don't remember cheating. When they investigate these, they often find that they have given their account to someone to play the game for them. So, Bungie, again, reminding everyone out there, you must protect your account and do not give other people your account for recovery service. Saying that your fingers were not on the keyboard when the cheating occurred will not help you in your appeal. So,
I wonder what percentage of banned players are because of like account recovs. Must be high, right?
yeah.
For them to add that in there. I don't know. Like I was never one to be like, here, do it for me. Like it's one thing to ask somebody to help you through it or carry you through something. As long as you're upfront, like, hey, I am unable to make it to the lighthouse on my own. Can I join your fire team and you help me? And you can tell if somebody's cheating. Like, let's be honest. You can look at it. If they're cheating, bounce out. Like, what are the odds of you playing one game with somebody that's cheating, being in their fire team? If you bounce out, you have plausible deniability there. But I don't know. I just don't understand the people that would just. And I know it was real bad back in like the Luna's How, Not Forgotten, Recluse, Mountaintop days. People giving those accounts up to let other people grind those out. There were better ways to cheat the system than that. I can promise you that. Have two Xboxes in your house and just search for matchmaking at the same time. I can promise you there are better ways than giving your account up. So,
Yep. All right. Stability updates. Bungie wants their game to run. Like they want the game to. They don't want to be down for maintenance, and the reason that is, they want you to be able to purchase silver, get those items in Eververse, and just straight up play the game and have fun. So they're always going to be working on that, and they want to limit downtime. All right. After that, we got seasonal structure. So, as they mentioned back in February, that they were working behind the scenes to shake up the seasonal grind and like the evolution as you go through it. And they want each season to feel kind of unique in its own way. So players will be looking for more variety and repeatable season activities. So that's something we should look out for. And more than anything, that they want to consistently surprise everyone with what comes out in the next season. So they're not talking too much about next season because basically that's going to happen in the showcase. The showcase is going to show seasons 22 and 23. And then also Final Shape. So hopefully there's going to be a good surprise for us in there. What's to come? The next several weeks, there's going to be this basically update every week that's coming out, and so like I hope this means like on Wednesday we're going to have like an article drop, and then we also have a Thursday TWID. So I think that's what it's going to be coming for us, and then also the year of like lore, like is like different. And I think Chad, you kind of does it feel off to you the way it's coming out? The way like seasonal, like what they did on Neonuma, where like you have the Vex containment or the Veil containment over to the side, and then like and then this seasonal story was still playing off Lightfall's story, so that's continuing to happen. But when it comes time for the final shape, it's going to be a conclusion, and it's going to bring it into the Light and Darkness saga.
We'll see. Bungie hasn't wrapped a storyline in this game in a minute.
Yeah. Cosmetic quality of life. So favoriting is coming next season. So you're going to be able to favorite up to 100 of your favorite shaders, ornaments, and emotes. Yay. It's good. So, 100 main here. I got like 4 or 5 shaders I can turn different things black. So favorite those 5 and just shuffle between them until I find the right shade of black that I want.
Yeah.
Stasis fragments and aspects. Do you remember grinding those out?
What a nightmare, man. I remember Chad and I did that when I took that week of vacation, and I was like, oh my God, it was so bad. And I was so glad it was over when it was over. And hunters were entirely too strong.
So it's coming to the vendor system. So you can now just go and purchase them with Glimmer. There's no reason to go get the slow, defeat people slow, shadow kills, frozen kills. That's all going away. Just like the rest of your subclasses, go purchase for Glimmer. If you have Beyond Light, that is. Transmat effects, they're also going to be unlocks now. So once you get one once, then you can put it on any ship. Good change there. Wishender, they're just streamlining their pursuit for this. So there's not going to be uncharged tokens. And then sandbox updates. We're going to have new strand aspects next season. So I'm guessing it's going to be the same way it happened last season, where you just got to do a little mission on Neonuma, maybe a quest, and then you get those unlocked. There's going to be exotic armor reworks coming in our future. We're going to get an article or TWID about those. We have new weapon subfamilies coming. So we already know about the next season, aggressive burst hand cannon. So I think there's going to be some other subfamilies new that are coming in our future that just change stuff up a little bit.
Just they're adding a Vex Mythoclast subfamily of fusions.
Oh, okay. Weapon tuning. They're going to change the way range works, and they're going to bring like auto rifles, pulse rifles, and hand cannons. They're kind of like going to group those together, and then like SMGs and sidearms. Those are going to get in their lane, and then they got scout rifles, and kind of off to themselves, maybe with bows. Like they're going to have each weapon like have its intended range, and that the zoom connected to the range and damage fall off is going to be untethered. They're ending the article with reinforcing their goals for the year. So they have 4 items here. And to change this up a little bit, what we've been talking about, I think we should rate our confidence level and Bungie delivering on these 4 topics. So just 1 through 10, use a decimal place there if you want. So the first one is expanding players' imaginations. So kind of like what happened this season with Deep Dives, how the exotic mission is in it. You can also do the Preshow trials and get different tiers of rewards. keep in mind there. So how confident are you that Bungie is going to expand our imagination?
How did you want it? Do you want it? You said decimals,
Yeah,
like 1 to 10.
1 to 10 with the decimal. Yeah.
I have to give him credit. I kind of stood up before the season and I was like, if you guys think we're going to be traversing underwater, then you've lost your mind. There's no way that's going to happen. The pressure trials, once you think about what it is and what it opens up, is super cool. I don't think it was implemented well, but this is implementation 1, the first time they tried it, and they're implementing it on a system. So what you have to think about is they have one activity that every time that you activate a trial, it increases the difficulty of the things as well as increases the loot difficulty. So the variations of that one activity, you can be like a tier 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 rewards, depending upon how successful you are. The further you go, the more difficult it is, as opposed to having like a modifier that's just locked on the activity whenever you launch it. It is literally something that can go up or down depending upon how well you're doing as a fire team. That is cool. I don't necessarily love like the like the roguelike things that they put in, like, oh, this time you can choose between your supers recharging faster or your void weapons doing more damage. Like, I wasn't crazy about that part,
Really?
but I don't like roguelike games. So that's not like, I wouldn't expect that I would like it in Destiny. I want like more of a static experience when it comes to like what to expect as far as weapon damage, damage taken, like weapon availability of weapons. I don't like games to where like those games where you go in and you don't know what weapons you're going to have. They're just randomly like skewed upon you as you progress. So thinking about that technology of the deep dives, even though I think the deep dives suck and I don't think they're fun at all, but like what they're working upon, that along with them allowing us to traverse underwater and having to get oxygen out of bubbles, I have to give them credit that they were able to do something that I didn't think was possible. So I'm going to give them a B+ on that. And this is like me being very much optimistic as far as like just giving them credit, and like in good faith, I'm going to give you this credit. Like, you still have to prove it, but like I didn't think there was any way that we would ever get this. So I will give them credit for that.
So in the scoring rubric that the teacher gave you before the assignment and the talk, an 8.8 is what you're saying.
8.6 repeating.
Okay.
That's more of a regular B.
That's B+.
So I was going to say an 8.3.
Okay.
Okay.
Like a low B.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of the reasons that Ryan said as well, although I do like the roguelike aspect, but the major fix that I think is what needs to happen, and I've said it a lot on the deep dives in particular, is just you should be able to, instead of like stopping like at the tier 1, tier 3, tier 5, tier 7 rewards, you should be able to stop the activity after any wave you want. That way, like, if you only want to finish the first wave, or if you only went in to grab some plants and you just want to do it, if you don't want to go to the second level or the third level, there should be a way to go immediately to the boss, finish the activity, and then bounce out. After week 3, having to play that all the way through every time was just horrible. It didn't feel good. It took way too long. If there was an endpoint where you could literally play the first wave, get some stuff done, and then just go right to the boss, I'd be all in. Because sometimes, like, you know what? Do we want to go further in? Yeah, heck yeah. Let's go to the second wave. How are we feeling? Nah, let's just kill this and get out. Okay, yeah. If there's a way for them to implement that, like instead of activating one of the like the pickups, if there was like another one where the gate like the teleport portal opens up anyway, and then or you can grab the pickups and then move on. That would be great. That would be excellent. I would love that. because that would make it shorter for people that are a little bit shorter on time, or that just want to get some clears done for some triumphs or whatever. Like going in and playing a 25 minute activity is not fun if it's just a deep dive. If it's like a dungeon, okay, I get it. But when it's just a matchmaking activity, oh man, it feels awful.
That's half a raid,
it's
dude.
too long.
It's half a raid.
Yeah. For a solid crew, it is, yeah. It's a long time.
Like what would have been cool, kind of to what Chad's saying, and I don't know I don't know how I just thought of this, but imagine if it was like if you do the first encounter, you do the pressure trial, and then you do the second encounter. Technically, you've done 3 things. So, like at that point, if 2 out of the 3 people warp to the end or whatever, then you'd be able to just go straight to the final boss and even skip the 3rd trial. Like do something like that. Like once you get to 3, you can skip it. You can skip out to just the boss arena. And guarantee
and obviously it lessens your rewards, but
yeah,
you know,
but
if you don't
but
care
really,
about the rewards,
you could do that faster. You could do that faster
Yeah.
than doing all 3
Yeah.
encounters individually. So that's kind of why I thought that could be interesting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give Bungie a 7.7. I liked what they did this season. I would like them to expand, to a hold the line game, to like a tower of power game, something where like you're literally protecting a zone after waves, horde mode. Like I think that is what the imagination that would take for me to like really wow me out of them. But I'm pleased with what they've done. So this is, I mean, that's a good grade. You're passing, but you're not putting it on the fridge. All right. Title number.
Mommy's not putting that one behind a magnet.
All right. Number 2, bring challenge back to Destiny.
I'll go first here just to keep our order. I think they suck at this currently. The only way they add challenge is absolute bullshit health pools on bosses, like in the dungeon, to where like us as a coordinated fire team should never take us as long as it took us to kill that boss the first few times. I'm fine with it being difficult, but make it difficult by add density, make it difficult by putting us in arenas with like different styles of arenas, or mechanically difficult, but just making it to where like, oh, the boss has 400 million HP, and whenever you need to stand in this area, there's no cover, and she can kill you because you're 25 power under light, and she can just beam you directly, and there's nothing you can do about it. Or like, you need to go grab this thing, you need to go grab this orb in order to make it to where people can dunk, but we're going to stick you in an animation that lasts a second and a half long to where you can just get beamed by the boss while you're doing it. And the only thing you can do is throw a smoke bomb or like shatter dive if you're like a void, or it's not shatter dive, but the dive you do with your hunter in order to go and Viz. That's the only way you can be safe. Like that is just, it's crappy. I hate it. So I'm going to say, as far as bringing challenge back, if we just go on the previous year, let's see. So we have King's Fall. It wasn't that challenging. Duality. Was that the dungeon before? Yeah. The Kydal. That one was not one of my favorites. A lot of people liked it more than I did, but it wasn't one of my favorites. Then we had the easiest raid of all time has came out, and then we had just the stupid, like the cheap challengingness of the garden, or of the deep, the one that we just had. So I want to give them like a D plus on this, because I don't think any of the GMs have been like incredibly difficult. Like we died a few times on the moon one, but that's just recycled content from 3 years ago. I can't give him a lot of credit for that, or 2 years ago. So I'm going to say like a D or a D plus. So let's say we'll give him a 68.9.
Okay. I'll give him a C plus. If only because the last wave of the deep dive, if you're going for tier 7, rough, especially if you're unlucky, but it's difficult. The random exotic mission that you got, for us, since we have a bunch of really good weapons, not too bad. But for a pickup group, it can be difficult enough to be a really fun time. So there are a couple things that they have done that have made things difficult without having a boss with 17 million health. So that's why it's like just above average, because they did add things that I'm like, oh yeah, that is hard. And I'm not including the Psyops Moon because, just like Ryan said, it was just you're getting one tapped by things when you're in an animation and there's nothing you can do. Like I have to go pick this up and I'm going to die. Unless we wait and do something else, or go and viz or whatever. But yeah, the only difficult things that I can remember that were added in that weren't just health pool increases is tier 7 deep dive and the exotic mission if you don't have amazing weapons. They're tough enough that they're difficult and a fun time. Because they're harder, not because everything's spongy. So yeah, C plus, above average. Should be more of that.
Yeah, so they definitely brought challenge into different things. So like the chill touch modifier, when that's on, I avoid the playlist because that's just not fun. It makes it difficult and unfun. So there's ways to be difficult and fun. And it's like I look back on like the Root of Nightmares day one of that, like the Void Saucers that came and killed you, and then like Sabathun and the Cyrus Battleground, that's frames per second based killing you. Like if you're at 30 frames per second, that stuff is not killing you. So it's artificially
pain.
So it's like some of the most difficult things in the game right now. It's only because frame rate based. So if they fix the damage due to frame rate, like they brought challenge, but it's in a weird spot. Now a place where they decided to make it difficult is like Neonuma Patrol. You're 15 under in Patrol, and why are we doing that there? Like that is like
it's the only
it's off.
It's where they have the stupid activities, so like they had to do it because it could be anywhere in Patrol. But
So,
like, bro,
I understand if you want to make the heroic public event enemies minus 15, but if I'm just trying to sparrow from place to place, and like a sniper hits my sparrow,
shouldn't blow up,
and then I hit like a rock, I'm dead, right? So like that is not the place to put difficulty. So I think they're getting closer to the bringing it back, but I'm going to give them a passing grade. I'm not failing them. It's a 7.3, but I think they can get it better in the future.
I forgot. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at a 6.8.
Okay, you went from a C plus to a 6.8.
I go after Ryan. No, sorry, 7.8. I go after Ryan, and it messes me up.
Yep.
I remember the first time, but not the second time.
All right. Number 3 here is enrich our content. Making stuff better. You know, it's the Vops Obscura mission. It's Trials revamps. Vexcalibur. They also have a new. I don't know if this is. Yeah, this has got to be this section, but it's almost like a star map where you're connecting dots to go get a reward. It looks like a new reward system for the Pathfinder in the future. I guess that's going to be enriching our content. That looks good, but we'll see how that goes.
I mean, dude, it's like a triangle that has nodes on it. What's that? I mean, the graphic designer did a great job. Like I'll give you that. But let's at least wait until we Let's
Yeah.
wait and figure out what those notes are before we.
Yeah. So number 3 is enrich our content. Do you think they're gonna, take that couple of flavors of Destiny and make them better and more unique?
Am I going first again? I'll go first again.
Okay.
I have to say I didn't feel real enriched here the past year. They talk about, and they kind of have like 5 paragraphs here. One of these is about the Pathfinder UI, so we don't really know how that works yet. So I'm not even going to discuss that. One of the paragraphs is talking about the PvP portion. They're talking about enriching the content with a new map and game modes and modifiers and emblems and armor sets, and I guess that's fine, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It's not like they have a lot to go up against in the past to really enrich the PvP side of things. Then they talk about a rotation of these exotic missions. So they're just taking things that they're giving us back things that they took away, such as Vox Obscura, Presage, Operation Seraph Shield being in rotation. So like I can't really give them a lot of credit for that. The Avalon exotic mission with Vex Caliber. I mean, what did we run that like 3 times?
Yeah.
Like, I can't really say that content was enriched. The enriching, in my opinion, like, and this is how I play the game, and other people are going to disagree. But with the way I play the game, I like to do Grandmasters, I like to do raids, and I like to do dungeons. I haven't enjoyed the last 2 dungeons. The last 2 raids have been fine. I've enjoyed those. Had a great time. Got the titles for each of them. Got all the weapon patterns and everything. Been a great time. So like I'll give them that. But one of those 2 was just brought back from Destiny 1. The other one is widely regarded as the easiest raid that's came out in Destiny 2. So I'm gonna have to give them like a 6.5 on this one. Just a solid D.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'm kind of with you there, Fox, but they did add Strand. I do think Strand does enrich the content, suspending, severing, all that stuff. That it does bring another aspect to the game where I do enjoy and doing something different. So I'm not going to give them a D, but they're also not getting a B for it either. I'm trying to think something in PvP that was positive over the last year or year and a half to me. They took away connection-based matchmaking. So that wasn't enriched. That went down, became more bland. They took that secret spice away to me for that fried chicken. So like it's a 7.1. Like they barely done enough to enrich.
I'm gonna go a solid 7.
Okay.
It's just on the 0.0 because you want us to put the point there.
Yeah.
For all the reasons stated above, and it's just it doesn't feel enriched. I will say one thing is that it was way easier getting the red borders for this particular season, so that was nice. If you do like higher level deep dives, there's more enriched rewards, but that's about it.
Link says
Like,
all the
Link,
all the secret spice with the marathon and
Word.
yep.
Word.
All right, last category here. Connect our guardians. I'll go ahead and lead us off here. So they promised us LFG. They promised us a revamp to power. They're going to do something different with power here to where something happens when you're on a fire team with other people that's a certain power level. I think they are going to connect the Guardians and give people avenues to play together. However, the Destiny 2 populations are a bunch of nomads. They prefer to be doing stuff alone. They don't want to interact with people. They don't want to talk in game. They don't want to read game chat. So they're going to Destiny 2 players just don't want to talk to people. That's why they play Destiny 2.
I think that you're partly right. I feel like a lot of the LFG, the people that hate LFG are the people that did LFG in Destiny 1. I feel like LFG in Destiny 2 is a lot different than LFG in Destiny 1. As somebody that played a lot of LFG Destiny 1, like a lot, and I've done a lot of Destiny 2 LFG, but like Discord has completely changed the game as far as that goes, and getting in these Discord servers, which if you want an invite to those Discord servers, if you're not familiar, just tweet us at Destiny CC Pod. I will get in there and I'll get you into the main. There's one big main one. There's a second one that's pretty big, and I can explain to you how it all works, and it's fantastic. And I know that they made it a lot easier with Discord integration on Xbox as well as PlayStation as well. So as far as the voice chat channels in there. However, as far as connecting our Guardians, let's just put it where it is. If Bungie didn't have an API that allowed outside people to access it to create these tools, we're literally still in the beta of the guided games.
Yeah.
Like if you pull guided games up, it still says beta. It's been like that since the game launched. So Bungie is very good at several things, and there are some things they're very not good at. And connecting players and things like that is something that they were very good at in the early 2000s. They were very good at in like the teens of the 2000s, because they made this game that got people together and playing, but right now they are very much lacking in that. So I'm going to give them I'll give them as a 7.05 on this one.
Okay.
And that's just like, I'm giving them a little bit of credit for just having a game to where people are willing to go out of their way to find other people in non-traditional and difficult ways in order to do it. How many, like if you go play like Valorant or Overwatch, like you're not going to Discord servers to find people and teaming up. You're doing all that in game. So, at least in my experience.
Yeah. 7.9 for me.
Mm. 7.5.
All right. So Jared's the shill. I think that's how that ended up if we add our scores up.
Yeah.
Jared's the shill, I'm the hater, and Chad's in the middle. So
pretty normal stuff there.
I could have told you how that was going to end up before we started.
So that's the state of the game. Not a lot of meat on the bone. Not a lot. It's the showcase being 2.5 weeks away. They're not really going to give us a whole lot here. So,
all right. So let's stop talking about that, because we have a mailbag question about the state of the game.
Oh, okay.
So let's move on.
All right.
Move on. I believe we're at the TWID. The only thing I saw worth talking about in the TWID was that Anomaly won the Trials Challenge. Was there anything else you guys wanted to touch on in regards to the TWID?
That's it.
Okay.
That is it.
Moving on. Likes and dislikes. That might be the shortest TWID segment we've had in the history of this podcast.
Yep.
Likes. I'll start us off. I have all craftable weapons from this season completed, and that includes Last Wish and the seasonal weapons. So that is my like for this week.
Nice.
All right, and my like is that I got the Solstice Gilding done. It only took literally the first encounter in Last Wish with the armor on, got the Triumph done. I'm like, wow, I thought it was a whole dungeon or raid, but whatever.
I'm going to tell you my dislike is that Chad didn't tell me that it just took one encounter. So that's my dislike for the week, that he didn't tell me that I could just throw that armor on and get it done. My though is going to be I do got all the exotics for all the Hunter, Titan, and Warlock ones now. So finally got the Titan grenade barricade where you can turn your barricade into a grenade and throw it.
Yeah.
Didn't even put it on and try it because it sounds stupid to me. So, but I got it.
Good work.
Right. And my dislike that I haven't had time to play Harvest Moon. It's mostly for personal reasons. The game hasn't been taking up a lot of my time. Just work stuff. Lots of work stuff.
I gotcha. My dislike is there's not much to do, and I feel like the dungeon should have carried this season, and I feel like it was a disappointment. So I'd have no desire to get back in the dungeon. So the dungeon is my disappointment and dislike for this week.
This season.
Yeah, true that. No weapons breakdown this week. GM notes. I don't even know what GM's up right now. I'll be honest with you.
Fallen Saber.
Fallen Saber. We have a walkthrough of that up on the channel. If you're looking for it, we had a fairly clean run, I think, until the boss room of that one. The boss room got a little hairy because I took a weird death, but I don't remember if the boss one-shot me or if I got killed by the Tracer Shanks. But it was one of those two things. Gambling corner. We did have a gambling corner. So gambling corner is my personal favorite segment that we do. So each season, all of us start off with 10,000 glimmer. We then must, every week we come up with a bet that we have to bet on, based upon kind of current events that are happening in the game. Current glimmer standings. Jared started with 25,000 glimmer. I had 6,000 glimmer. Chad had 7,000 glimmer. We did a 2,000 ante. So take 2,000 off of all of our totals. And from there, we bet on the time it was going to take for us to clear the Last Wish raid. I think Jared bet like 1 hour and 14 minutes and 15 seconds or something. I bet exactly 1 second under him, and Chad bet somewhere around 1 hour and 30 minutes. We didn't know who was going to be in the squad. We didn't know how many people were going to be in the squad. We didn't know when the raid was going to happen. But I tried Sunday night to no avail to get people in. Monday night, or I guess I tried Monday night to no avail to get people in. Tuesday night, still no good. We did finally get to run it last night on Wednesday. And we had Jared, myself, Chado, Shifty, and Kamikaze, who's a friend of the program. And we couldn't get anybody else to join. We put out in Discord servers and everything else. And I was like, let's just 5-minute. And I think our final time was like 51 minutes. We had a pretty good time. We did have a wipe on Morgoth. And I think that was the only like wipe that we had, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of that was because we've never ran that with 5 people. So we didn't know like how the rotation should go on picking up those orbs and things. And but we got it done. I thought Vault was a lot more fun with 5 people as opposed to 6. You actually had to kind of move around a little bit more. I think we got Riven on our first try and Queen's Walk on our second try or third try? We got Queen second try. So I think we had 2 wipes in the raid. So fun time. Had a good time. So with that takes me to 8,000. Chad is at 3,000. Jared is at 27,000. So Jared's sitting good. Jared's going to be the clear winner of this season. Chad's got to survive here. What do you guys need to do this next week before the podcast next week? Do you guys still need Last Wishes, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So would you rather do another time trial for Last Wish, or would you rather do total kills or total deaths?
I think the deaths is the best one. Like the entire
Yeah,
fire
all
team.
6 or all
Yeah.
5 fires, however many we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. Or 7,
Um,
somebody drops out, have to pick somebody else up. Does that
yeah,
still count?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So Wink says his dislike is he's been remodeling this month and he's super far behind on the season. Hey Wink, why don't you try to get with us? Let's try to get you through. Let's do a last wish maybe this week, or if anybody in the chat wants to join, just holler at us and we'll try to work you in. So we're gonna do total deaths. I think Jared should have to go first, or maybe we can do.
No, because you just undercut me.
That's right. Yes, that is what I would do. You're right. But you also have a 20,000 glimmer lead.
Do I get the set with the Aeneas?
How many weeks are left this season?
It's 2 more resets, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 more resets.
It can't. It has to be like 2.
No.
We got to make Chad sweat it.
I think this should be the week for it.
This should be the week.
Yeah.
What are you thinking then?
3,000.
And then we let Chad choose if he wants to go first, second, or third.
Yes.
Okay. Chad, do you want to be first guess, second guess, or third guess?
Third.
You should choose third guess. Okay.
Okay. I will go first then.
Okay.
I will go 7 deaths.
Oh, that was a great number. That was a number I had in my head. I am going to go 8 deaths.
So you're trying to make me decide between 6 and 9? Nine.
Yeah, that's the play, Chad. 1 wipe, a couple bad jumping puzzle jumps. You know, somebody bumps somebody in the air on the way to a chest.
Somebody toadstools somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. Jared, you got those written down for us?
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. That's the end of that segment. Oh, cool. Wink says he's 100% down for a last wish. Great.
Oh, boy.
I will DM you on Twitter, or I'll tweet you, or I'll send you something on Discord. War? Were we doing war, or were we speculating next week?
Okay, so my question is this, because even though it's a singular lore piece, it's 3 pages long. My typical lore section is 5. So it's still going to be about 10 minutes. So if we want to do lore this week, we can. If we want to do lore next week, we can. It's literally like I said,
we hold it. We hold it for next week. We got a pretty good mailbag section.
Okay.
Coming up. Pretty full mailbag. If that's all right with you. If you want to.
Yeah, that's.
If you want to go. Okay. All right. Because I want to try to hit under an hour 30. That seems to be the sweet spot. All right. Question 1. Do you guys think that they will show the Beyond of Destiny 2 after the final shape on the showcase on the 22nd? So basically, do we see do we see what's coming after the Light vs. Dark saga?
Yes,
this
but
month
but it's only like a snippet. Like it's barely much of anything. It just says yes, you can purchase Final Shape and still have something else to do after Final Shape.
I mean, that's a tough one because they do have to lead into the hype for the rest of the year. For the like seasonal, whether they show like snippets of this and that or whatever, like their roadmap for the year, because it's like the final year, so they might have like a little bit of future planning like what. But I don't expect much, if anything. I expect maybe like a shadow of a thing, but not much.
I think you guys are pretty close. I think that we're told that this is not the end of the Destiny universe. I don't think they necessarily tell us like 1 year from now we're going to see the next thing, but I think that there's been a little rumbling about like a Destiny mobile coming and them getting that Tiger engine that the Destiny runs on, getting it to be ready to go to mobile. And there's been some hiring things that I've kind of seen around Twitter where they're hiring like mobile developers. So I think we're going to see something in that vein, if I were to guess. Probably a gotcha game, or as Chad said, Eververse the game. So could be interesting. Question 2, what would you rate the state of the game that we got this year?
7.5. He met all the minimum requirements and went into detail on a few extra items.
Okay. I'll go 7.7. Met all the minimum requirements, but hit 2 extra credit pieces. Being that Pathfinder thing, I have no clue what that is, and if it's something extra for me to check off on a box, I'm down. And a Gambit map coming back. I didn't think we would ever see another Gambit map ever, although they did say that one was coming back, I think, at one point, but I don't believe it until I see it. That's cool to see, at least.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere between like a 65 and a 70. Probably closer to the 70 than the 65. Mainly because there was nothing egregious. But I feel like he had to cite 3 sources, and 2 of them had to be book and not internet resources, and he just wasn't able to. Like the Pathfinder thing was a little iffy. I feel like the we're listening stuff and all that was just a little. I don't know. I feel like it was fluffed. So I'll say like a D++. Question 3, Joe Blackburn or Luke Smith?
If you took sunsetting away from Luke Smith, I would vote him, but because of that, I'm going to go with Joe.
Joe.
I'm a Luke guy. I don't know. I don't think sunsetting was the worst thing that ever happened like everybody else does, but we've discussed that somewhere along the other 120 plus episodes that we've done. Question 4, Mount Rushmore. Favorite meats, the best meats.
Ooh.
So just for like like you can't go like beef and it takes like all the steaks away, or like burgers away,
right?
And stuff like
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. You can't because we can't just name once we go like beef, chicken, pig, like we're gonna be fish, we're gonna be struggling. So Jared, I want you to do me a favor. I want to go pee. I need you to pull up like a random number generator, get something ready so we can determine order. We're just going to be snake draft.
So what Mount Rushmore is, though, is like you have to pick 4, and then just say the order happens to where Chad goes first. So he gets number 1 pick, and then either me or Fox goes, and then let's say Fox is 2, and I'm the last pick, but I also get the first pick in the second round. And so we just keep going around like that until we have all 4 slots filled.
Okay. And so we're going meats, cuts of meats, anything like that.
Yeah, so like like if you pick ribeye, I feel like that includes like all versions of a
steak.
ribeye. Like it's a bone-in
Well, yeah,
ribeye,
okay,
it's
your
dry aged
bone-in,
ribeye, it's whatever,
yeah.
it's a ribeye.
I got you. It's just your favorite form of that ribeye.
Yeah. If you pick a burger,
Yeah.
it's a burger. It's not a smash burger. It's not an Angus whatever
Yeah,
burger.
but it
It's-
includes all those.
Yes.
Gotcha. Cool.
I think like even with chicken, like you have chicken breasts, you have chicken wings, chicken drums. You got the thighs. You break all that down. Same for the pigs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
You got all the parts of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. Link's saying ribs. And I'm saying I'm a pork ribs kind of guy.
So now,
Myself.
in my opinion, there's two different types. There's baby back, and then there's country style. So I think there's
Yeah.
two separate styles of ribs.
I'm a baby back guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. How did we? What are we going between like 1 and 10, or what are we doing?
Yeah, 1 and 10. And then like,
Should we do 1 to 100?
oh yeah, we can do 1 to 100. Yep. All right. And then just to recap, if you pick a ribeye, it includes all versions of a ribeye, like dry aged, bone in, all that kind of jazz.
Yeah, but like somebody can say bone eye or bone eye. Somebody can
Yeah,
say
they
ribeye and somebody can say ribeye, and then somebody else can say like New York strip or
Yes,
filet or
that's a
something
different.
like that.
That's a different
Okay.
cut. Yep. All right, I'll go. Ahead and
Okay.
go. I'll go 33.
Um, 66.
$65.
It's 90. So
Oh, boy.
Chad Fox than me.
Chad gets to choose the order. Chad gets to
Oh,
choose the
you
order.
choose the order. Okay.
Nah, I like what Jared said. Jared's fine. Although Jared's fine. Although if I go, it doesn't matter if I go first. I don't think I'm going to say
go
things you
first.
guys are going to say. So how many are we going? 4 because it's Rushmore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we go for it because it's
Okay.
Mount Rushmore.
Go for it.
There's 4 faces on
Mhm,
Rushmore.
Yeah. Not on my Mount Rushmore. So my first meats is going to be guanciale.
I don't know how to spell that.
We have to put this on a graphic, dude. Come on. At least spell it for us.
Guanciale.
I probably
You
have to
link
ask
me
you
a
that
picture of that or something? You tweet a picture of that out so we can know what it is.
again. Yeah.
Who's next?
That's you. It's you, Fox.
Okay. All right. This is tough. I didn't expect Chad to do this. I'm going to go chicken wing.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So my number one pick is going to be a ribeye. And then coming back around
Classic.
as the second go is where probably the decision I actually have to make. And man, I'm gonna go turkey. Well, shit, I can't just say turkey.
You can't just say the whole bird, man.
Oh man, I'm gonna go turkey breast. Because I had smoked turkey breast the other night. It's great. And then also like Thanksgiving.
Okay. I need to ask, is ham acceptable?
It's the portion of the pig that makes up the ham, right? It's not just like any port. It's like a direct. I forget. I don't know what
Right.
it's called, but yeah.
Right. I want to take ham. Number 2.
Ham,
Thanksgiving
okay,
ham,
okay,
Christmas ham,
Mhm.
breakfast
Spiral,
ham,
honey
lunch
ham.
meat ham. Like I kind of cover a large variety there.
Okay. Let's see here. Then my second, I'm gonna put chorizo.
Okay. Now I'll spell that one.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Oh, and I'm going back around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then number 3, I'm gonna put picanha.
Picanna.
That's Picanha.
HA. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel like Chad's kind of throwing. So I feel like it's
Throwing
It's me
says
and
the guy that
Jared
says
here.
chicken wing and ham.
dude. Chicken wing and ham they're gonna fucking play in this. I'm telling you.
I dislike ham.
You
so
see
much.
these on a graphic.
I don't care about whatever you're trying to do. I'm just stating my favorites. That's what I'm about. And that's why I said it doesn't matter if I go first or last, because you're not gonna pick anything that I say,
Right.
except maybe chorizo.
Okay. I know what I want my 4th round pick to be. Because I don't think it's going to be taken. So I'm trying to hold it. And
That's
if
what I
Jared
did.
takes it, I'm going to be devastated. But I think I'm going to have to go off the beaten path a little bit here. And it's a little bit unconventional. I think I'm going to have to go crab legs. Here.
Ooh,
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
that's a good one. Yeah.
So, my last 2, I can't believe both of these are still here. I'm gonna go lobster.
Oh,
I
sea
considered
bugs.
lobster instead of crab legs.
And then the last, I'm trying to flip between 2 right now, but I think I want to pick the one that's more versatile, and that's bacon.
Okay.
Okay, I feel like that's a bit of a pander to the
Yeah.
bacon's kind of internet popular, so
Yeah.
you're kind of pandering a little bit. All right, I never would have dreamed, and I don't want to say it. And Chad's not going to take it. How
No.
is hamburgers? How is cheeseburgers made it this far?
So ground beef.
So, but I feel like I can't do it. I'm gonna have to go bratwurst here in the 4 hole
Okay.
with a honorable mention for cheeseburgers.
And then I'm gonna go with buche.
Gosh.
Buche.
Okay.
Are these real things?
These are all real things, man. You haven't had any of these, and it makes me sad, except for chorizo.
The
It makes
third
me so
what
sad
mixed
for
in.
you.
How
I
you
do
say
mix that in
the
with my
third one
tacos.
again?
Picanha.
Is that the like? It's like meat with potatoes.
No,
No,
That's
it's like
not-
too
it's a steak.
small. Picanha.
It's a steak.
Too small.
no picanha. Yeah. Yeah. It's a Brazilian cut of meat.
Okay.
It's a oh god. Let me see here.
Buche sounds like a sex act, I think.
Wow.
Like a category.
So a picanha is a sirloin cap, pretty much, with the
Okay.
fat cap left on,
Okay.
and then you cut it with the grain.
Oh, okay.
And when you cook it,
Yep.
it's wild.
gets real
It's
tender.
delicious. It's super
Yeah.
tender, dude.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. So if you go to like a Brazilian steakhouse, the little steaks with like the nice fat cap on it that are like horseshoe shaped on like the swords or whatever
Mhm.
that they hand out, that is picanha.
Okay. I remember
Link's
that
right.
now. I remember that
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chatty's bougie meats, 100%. Yeah, that's what
guanciale is just better bacon.
that's just what those California boys do.
Yeah, there's soy boys out there. We don't even have that. I can't even go
I
into
didn't
my
say
meat
soy
market.
chorizo, okay?
If I go in and ask for a Bucci at my meat market here, they're just gonna flip me
you
off
will
and
never,
show me
dude.
where the door
They
is.
could have
No one will
your
ever-
ass out
They
of
will,
Yeah, they're gonna Bucci my ass right out and tell me to never come back. All
I
right,
just like giving
that
you
was
second place, Ryan.
so let's. Jared, did you write those down?
I did.
All right.
There's a
can you
graphic
recap?
down in
Can
our
you recap?
thing that I got.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Chad went.
Go ahead.
I can't even say it. I don't know. The G one.
Okay, guanciale.
Guanciale. There we go. Chorizo. Picanha. Picanha. And then buche.
Kanye.
And then Fox went chicken wing, ham, crab legs, and a bratwurst. I went ribeye, turkey breast, lobster, and bacon.
If we
that
put
only
this
two
up
of us
as a
picked
poll,
steaks.
if we put this up as a poll, I think Jared's the winner. I'm second, and Chad's third.
I'll happily take third with my meats that you don't even know what they are.
I feel like ribeye, lobster, bacon is a pretty hard threesome to.
Oh man, those sea bugs are pretty tasty, but you got sea bug legs in there too.
I feel like turkey's gonna hurt Jared. I feel like I have the stronger all four, but just on the graphic, ribeye, lobster, bacon, that's gonna be tough to.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
We'll put it up for a vote. We'll bring it, and we'll touch base on it next podcast. But that brings us to the end of this podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. If you're listening to us on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, other podcast services, don't forget we have a YouTube where we do live. We do have a little pre-show, which all our audio listeners got to get a sneak preview of last week because I messed up the audio recording, so I had to rip it off the YouTube video. So I'm gonna let these other guys sign off here. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod.
Just remember we are on the X at DestinyCCPod, just in case there's trouble finding the app or URL or whatever is going on nowadays. But glad you're here, and see you Starside.
And I guess next week is going to be final lore. And then assuming we don't get any news on next season, it will be speculation. And I'll try to draw from the rest of them what Mr. Not Ryan Fox and Jared think what could be going on. Probably not Mr. Not Ryan. He's a spoily boy. But yeah, we'll have fun these next two before next season.
Thanks.
As always, go Cats. Love you guys.